What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another video, and I'm here in Bataan, in the central part of Luzon in the Philippines. I'm in this beautiful area that's called Filipinas, Casas de Acuzar. I'm not sure if it's the same theme as Acuzar, but I booked like a private tour around here. You can see how beautiful the buildings are over here, and everything. So really gorgeous area, I'm here with my family. It's my birthday out here today. So we're doing a tour around. We're gonna stop in the museum and see what else is happening. I got a couple more stops throughout the Bataan area that I want to explore, but our first stop is right here, and then I'll figure out where I'm gonna go later. See how beautiful it is. They got the river, the lake out here. I think they're renovating that church right there, and a lot of old architecture. It makes it feel like if you're somewhere else. I made a stop at this museum. Very beautiful, the building, the structure, how they preserve it, That's like that Spanish colonial architecture. I'm a huge fan of architecture. The thing is, this area is like a little bit like out of touch or outside, isolated from other areas of the Philippines, But if you have a chance, rent a car and try to make your way over here. This is a really, really high recommended area, I like it out here. So I'm gonna be honest, it's not really that cheap to get in here, but there's a lot of packages included over here. You could take the boat, everything, they got food. So I paid 2,500 pesos per head, but there's a lot of things included in this package. And then you get a tour around of the area and the beautiful architecture out here. So then also keep in mind, Bataan play an important key role out here in the Philippines, It was pretty important during World War II because a lot of army bases were based around this area to protect an island out here in the Philippines. But yeah, wow, look at this. This is beautiful, man. The thing is, I don't really see many foreigners venturing around here. I think the first time I saw this was when I watched the Hungry Syrian Basel. I think he filmed around here. Then I literally forgot about it because he filmed this years ago. But then I decided to rent a car and drive around this province. And look at this beauty, wow. See how beautiful it is? They really, really carved this building pretty well and did a lot of nice touch and details over here. So it's beautiful. So it literally feels like if I'm transported back in time with the cobblestones out here, the church there with the river, then the ocean is right that way. And when I make it to the other side, I'm gonna show you the museum that I was touring in the inside. But yeah, this is beautiful. Kind of has like a little bit of that Intramuros, a vegan vibe. But I think this is actually like nice. So like you really feel like you were transported back in time. This is the museum that I was exploring, which is actually pretty nice. Here's like a semi-downtown. This is also a hotel, You could do reservations over here in a hotel, but I'd rather do a tour, So when I explore places, I like to be near city centers and walk around, see what's out here. But yeah, pretty nice, like a little nice township that got here ahead of me. I'm gonna walk here to see what's ahead of me. And ahead of me, it looks awesome and beautiful. I'll show you guys. Look at this right here. I'm just curious, where are the rooms? Even though they literally hand me a map that tells you where is exactly everything, but then, see? You got this over here, pretty well preserved, and over there is pretty nice. There's a beautiful term of architecture here. Like it literally feels like if I'm in Europe, in a European city and not in the Philippines. I think this is what really makes Philippines different from other Southeast Asian countries, like the variety that it has to offer in the Spanish colonial architecture. Like over here, look, I can take a picture and tell you, hey, I'm in Spain, and you might believe it. See the plaza, everything out here, this is just gorgeous right here. And this is the province of Bataan. Here they're doing renovations, so that's nice. And this building ahead of me is pretty nice and beautiful. I like it. Tell your confusion, man. So many areas here where I could get my thumbnail picture. I think this would be like a perfect one. But testing it out, right now I'm just exploring the area, and so far I like it. But I like how the Kuyas here are working hard to maintain this area, preserve and pretty beautiful. It's pretty nice out here. Let's see what's out here. I don't think there's more, but I see like an arch there, and it kind of reminds me of the borderline of Intramuros and Rizal Park. But now I'm gonna walk towards this way. I'm literally the only foreigner out here, like always, but hey, why not? I love it like this. See, this is beautiful. All this well-preserved buildings that they got over here. They even have like substituting like a tram. See it here, it could be passing like a train, and then all of this beautiful architecture. Yo, it's hot here, but look over here, you could do parties, reservations. When I was in the museum, I saw a young girl. I'm gonna assume it's a quinceañera, but you could do your weddings, birthday reservations out here. This would be really nice, like with the sunset. And the good thing, you can hop in a jeepney and take you from one side to another one, because this area is actually pretty big, you know, especially with this heat. But yeah, pretty nice looking area they got over here. It's gorgeous. And here looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, I've never been there, but I've seen videos and pictures. This reminds me of New Orleans, like the French Quarter in Louisiana. Like this, they have the cobblestone streets and the tram, and then the beautiful architecture right here. So yeah, pretty nice. I'm loving this area. If you know a little bit about me, you know that I love older architecture, you know. So this place over here is literally like heaven for me. Here they got like this mini tram, Las Casas Filipinas de Acuzar. So that's actually pretty nice. And then like the plaza here with the view of the ocean. They got even more on the other side, which is dope. And the jeepney takes you around if you don't want to walk all this, you know. It is hot outside, but that's pretty normal out in the Philippines, so. But I enjoy my time over here, you know. It's pretty nice, pretty well preserved, so I'm ready to head other parts of Bataan, so we'll see what's going on. So I took the jeepney back, and they offer, you know, complimentary drinks. They're gonna have gulamang, but yeah, look at this over here. It's just perfection, the view and everything. The architecture, like I tell you, it literally feels like if you're somewhere else, like between the mountains and the old architecture here is just gorgeous. Yeah, pretty impressive, but I highly recommend that you guys, if you have time, because I mean, there's just so much to see in the Philippines, but if you have time, try to make it over here outside the Manila area. There's so much to see around here. And here you see, you know, they got a boat there. You could take the boat. Bagak, I think this is part of the municipality of Bagak and Bataan, and then all the beautiful architecture. I'm just walking around here. I'm not gonna lie, this place really impressed me as being one of my favorite spots to visit around the Luzon area. But there's so many areas to see. Like I say, you got Luzon, the Visayas region, Mindanao, you know, Philippines is just full of surprises. You got more here, and you see the beautiful mountains or the Cordilleras, and then I think they're renewing this church. It looks like a palace, you know, like in the middle of the water. You know, this is just awesome. And what I like about this area, it's not busy, it's not super jam-packed. So if you like, you know, getting pictures with places like this, you know, you have it all to yourself. You don't have all the crowds. So yeah, highly recommend that you come to, you know, Casa de Acuzar, Filipinas. So now I'm in my next stop. Had to drive all the way to the mountains, but it's gonna be actually worth it. And there's a cross over here. It kind of reminds me a lot of the town of Ponce in Puerto Rico, where I'm from, which is called La Cruceta, and they got some amazing views of the province out here. The name of this place is called Mount Samat, and I think once we go up, the views are gonna be amazing. So this is the cross right here, all the way up, and then over here to my left, you got some impressive views. Because wow, you can see the water too. This is nice, nature and everything. Wow, we are very high up. Like I can see the township. Thank God I have the car, you know. It's pretty nice. But yeah, like I tell you, it reminds me a lot of back home. Like we got something similar like this. So you got to drive the curves up, and then you got the cross on top. Now I'm doing some cardio, but it seems like it's gonna be epic ahead of me, because I see a lot of people lying up there taking pictures. Also reminds me when I was in Penang in Malaysia, we had something like similar to this, you know, like you had to go all the way up, but it used to be like a little cart that would take you all the way up, and then you got like the amazing view. So cardio, if you wanna go somewhere sacred, you gotta do sacrifices like this. But what an awesome province we got here in Bataan. Highly recommend that you visit this area here in the central part of Luzon and Philippines. So once you make it here on top, I'm running out of breath, but this is what you get. The view, the ocean right here. I'll show you guys what's going on. I'm scared of heights, so I'm not gonna even get close over there, but wow, look at this, it's amazing. Then they got more over here. Wow. Imagine you hiking yourself up there. Then I'm gonna go to the stairs there later and head over there to see what can I find. I went up the hills, now I gotta go up the stairs. It feels like I'm doing a little bit of Rocky Balboa, but I think it's gonna be worth it once I make it on top. You get the Filipino flag and the cross ahead of me. I think that's gonna be epic. So stay tuned for this epic view over here. Then once you make it on top of here, it feels like it's a monument. They're doing some repairs over there where the cross is. So I'm not sure in the future, maybe you can make it all the way on the top over there, but we are pretty high up. And then behind me, look. Wow, look at this view. It's just awesome. This could be another thumbnail, so now I gotta choose candidates of what should be my thumbnail. But this is pretty nice here, what they're doing. I like that structure. There's probably a way I can get over that side. I'll figure it out. Then here you see some pine trees. This is reminding me of bringing me vibes like when I was in Baguio. Here, comparing to where I was before filming, it's not too hot because we're literally high up above sea level. So we got some nature over here and everything. And look at the pine trees. Like it feels like if I'm in, I don't know, Switzerland, Washington State, USA. So that was a little interesting view here on top, you know. Pretty nice, but now I'm gonna head towards the city center called Balangas. In the city center, they have a beautiful plaza, church. We didn't even have a hotel, but architecture is gonna be actually pretty nice. So gonna drive around there. Not sure how long it's a drive, maybe 30 minutes. That's okay, I love driving out here. So gonna catch you guys in the next stop. I made it to the city center of Balanga City, which is not too big, but they got some beautiful architecture right here. They even have a mall right here towards my left, but I think there's like a little brown now in the inside, and then there's a plaza over here happening. Even a hotel here that I want to show you guys ahead. So this is the hotel right here. So I think this is like the mayor city in Bataan area. Then they got like a parking right here. There's another nice looking building ahead that I want to give you a close up. Then of course, Jollibee, which is an icon in the Philippines. Also, they got Red Ribbon right here. So yeah, it was a little hard for me to find parking, but I parked where the mini mall is. And this is a public library, so it's actually pretty nice, the building. Then here, most of the transportation is just tricycles, like all over the Philippines, but I see them pretty popular all around here. So, and I'm the only foreigner out here in this town. So far, you know, pretty simple and pretty small, nothing crazy, but it's being a pretty nice province. I mean, this province is mostly known for its nature and the mountains. And this over here is like the main street. And then over here you see the church, busy traffic jam, and a nice cathedral right here. There used to be a sign here, but I think they took it away. And then the plaza over here with the hotel. To the church, and you know, everywhere you go in the Philippines, there's cathedrals. That's what pretty much represents architecture in the Philippines. This nice looking building is actually like a little mini mall over here. And this is kind of like the main street over here, show you a little bit of street action. Pretty busy though. You know, even small towns, they're busy in the Philippines comparing to back home in the States. Let me see if I capture what's going on the other side. Here's a little bit of street action. Always a vibe to check out the towns, you know, throughout the Philippines. Honestly, not really much going on, but the plaza and the surrounding buildings are pretty nice. The architecture is pretty nice and worth to look at. So, you know, just showing you around what's going on right here. I'll stop at this coffee shop in the city center. I'm gonna try the food. I got my Spanish latte here, so let me take a little sip. It's pretty good. Not strong, not super sweet, it's well balanced, you know, so. And my family, fiance stepson, they bought a cake for me. Not gonna put them on camera, but she bought a mini cake for me because today's my birthday. I'm not shy to say my age, if you guys are wondering how old I'm turning. 39 years old, so I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed for God for giving me another year of life and to spend it in my favorite country, which is the Philippines, with my family out here, so. Blessing to be here and making content for you guys, so I appreciate all your love and support. This is the mini cake for me, so blessed to be out here, you know? Every year it's a celebration and a milestone, and you should be happy that you made it alive, you know. Look at what I ordered right here. Rice with chicken kebab. This is like a different type of kebab. I thought it was gonna be in pieces, but it's actually, you know, a big full meat, and it's a big full meat in it. So let's see what it tastes like. And they got like, you know, roasted tomatoes, vegetables. I'm gonna start with a little piece of the chicken to see what it tastes like. Let's see. And it got the sauce. I guess it's the sauce so you could dip it in the chicken, but I'm gonna try the chicken alone. Let's see how it tastes like. Ooh, it's pretty good. Pretty good. So I'm gonna finish up my meal and I'll catch you guys later. So it was just a short video, but me exploring, you know, outside of Metro Manila, about 2-3 hours outside. So I'm gonna wrap up my video over here in Balanga City and Bataan. So I had a blast, you know, exploring the nature in the city center. So that was the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there. Everybody, God bless y'all, and peace.